time today. Dr. Swamy, you're obviously delighted because you have succeeded in your first aim, which is to get Sonia and Rahul Gandhi to appear before a court. That was the first step, and you defined it as such. Explain what happened, because the Congress says that you were being...
The second step was to make them accept bail.
Okay. Well, the Congress says that in the process you have also been a bit petty in court today, wanting a restraint really on their travel, etc., and attach conditionalities to their bail. Substantive answer, Dr. Swamy.
Yes. Well, first of all, as they had been boasting that they won't take bail, they will go to jail. And I said, yes, either you take bail or you go to jail. And they came, not only took bail, they also furnished a bond. And then that bond had a surety. It was not on their personal bond. And they didn't get exemption from not attending court for the next time. So all that has happened. I had never said that I'll oppose bail, and I did not oppose bail in the court either. I did say they have a bad habit of disappearing, for which the court and everybody in the court laughed. And I said they can disappear for 15 days and nobody, 57 days, and nobody will know. So therefore they should take your permission. Now Mr. Sibal says, no, they will not travel like that. You will not interrupt any of the court proceedings. So I said, fine, in that case, if you disappear, I will come back to the court. That was it. Now everything that I could have possibly have wanted from a preliminary hearing like today, I got done. I exposed them. They took bail. They not only took bail, they took a bond. They not only took a bond, they gave a furniture surety. And not only that, they have not been exempted from not appearing again. And Mr. Pitroda just barely escaped getting a non-bailable warrant issued against him because they produced a medical certificate. So they were said the next time, the judge said next time he has to be present. Now, all that is left is that the hearing, which will begin on 20th February, which was the date they selected, and pleaded with me to accept it, which I did. I said, for the first time, Mr. Sibal has said, please, so I will accept the date of February 20th. Otherwise, I am ready to argue now. Now the arguments will be made. My witnesses and myself will be cross-examined. Then they will have to produce evidence. Now, every time I hear a Congress spokesman, he only says one thing: they are not getting any money in it. Well, you said that in the High Court. The High Court didn't agree. Well, they rejected you. You didn't go to the Supreme Court because you know what the Supreme Court would have said.
Okay, let's go step by step. Because the High Court has also said whether it is cheating, criminal misappropriation, or criminal breach of trust is not required to be spelled out at this nascent stage. So let's not get beyond ourselves into the merits. I understand the Congress is raising certain issues, and we'll discuss.
No, who is getting beyond ourselves?
Yeah, one second. I just want to ask you. One second.
This is an argument.
I understand. I'm coming to those arguments. Just one second. We'll go step by step. Otherwise, it'll be too much information for our viewers. Now, you have said something very interesting. You said that if they disappear, then I will be going to court again. What for you constitutes disappearance?
Yes.
Dr. Swamy, because they will say that if tomorrow we have to go out for an international seminar or a conference, it can't be deemed as disappearance. So what, according to Dr. Subramanian Swamy, is disappearance?
57 days, where was Mr. Rahul Gandhi? Do you know? Even today you don't know. And he's a member of Parliament. Parliament didn't know. And Miss Sonia Gandhi goes abroad. You don't know what she goes for, which hospital she goes for. It's a vague thing that she's going for medical treatment. Why can't you tell us which hospital she's going to? These will be in demand. Next time she's not there for a court case and her presence is required, I will certainly make this as an issue.
So basically, any time they leave this country without an express official purpose, Dr. Swamy is going to go to court. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Yes, that's right. I'll say I have an apprehension they have absconded.
Okay. That makes life a little difficult for the Gandhis. That makes life very difficult for the Gandhis. Let me get to the other points. Let me get to some other points. Continually it is being said, Dr. Subramanian Swamy, that you have no locus standi. We had two lawyers here, Mr. KTS Tulsi. We also had Adyama Sundaram, etc., all talking about locus. Now, I know what the court has said. It's right in front of me.
Yes.
But explain, sir, your locus, because they continually say that when nothing has been stolen and you were not the person who is the aggrieved party, who are you in all of this?
Yeah, I am a citizen of India who pays taxes. The Associated Journals Limited has built all its assets by getting concessional land on cheap terms and very prime locations to run a newspaper. They have got loans from various banks. Some of the banks have been beaten to give loans without mortgage. For example, Punjab National Bank, which the Shah Commission has dealt in great detail. And furthermore, the Congress Party gets tax exemption, and it also gets government bungalows. It also gets time on television during election, and the state makes facilities for providing them with voter rolls and so on. So all these show, as the Supreme Court has recently ruled in the BCCI case, that even if you are a private body, if you have major public impact and public functions, then it is subject to a judicial review by the court. So therefore there is no such thing as a private body unless it is a genuinely private body. You take facilities from the government and then you say I am not accountable. So therefore that question doesn't arise at all. Second is that locus standi was raised in the both in the question came up in the trial court. The magistrate herself asked me and explained. Same thing with the Delhi High Court, and section 190 very clearly says any person can come and file a complaint. I see tomorrow murder taking place, a man is killing his wife. I have nothing to do with either his wife or him. You mean I can't go and report the crime? This is a very absurd position, and the courts have dismissed it.
Okay.
They have said locus standi in criminal matters is a foreign concept.
Well, you also expressed the apprehension, Dr. Swamy, that since the petitioners have acquired full control of AJL, therefore the day is not far away when the petitioners would liquidate the assets of AJL by converting Young India Charitable Company into any other kind of company, as Section 8 of the Companies Act 2013 now permits adoption of such a course. Well, today in the papers, and NewsX broke this news yesterday.
That's right.
The AJL has moved through through a notice calling for an EGM to once again reiterate the fact that they are a non-profit company and that there is no question that any of these assets can be taken away from AJL. In short, there can never be any appropriation or misappropriation of the assets of AJL.
Listen, first of all, this is not, they have not made it clarified. They are amending their memorandum of association to make it into a Section 8 company, number one. Number two, once they make it into a Section 8 company and amalgamate it into Young Indian, and then convert Young Indian into a commercial company, there's no bar. That's one. Number two, even if they are not getting an income from this operation, they are entitled to get the expenses, travel, anything concerned with the activities of their organizations compensated by the money that they get by commercial activity, which is illegal.
Okay, let me ask you a couple of other questions. We had a few panelists today who suggested that the Congress might be winning the perception war because they are saying that the public perception is building via the constant reiteration by the Gandhis that you are an agent of the Prime Minister, that you are working in tandem with the PMO to target the Gandhis fraudulently, falsely, to implicate them so that the ends of a Congress Mukt and a Gandhi Mukt Bharat becomes a reality. How do you answer to that charge?
Yes. Well, first of all, the public perception is absolute thrill that the majesty of law has been upheld, that these people who are being treated like by the Congress Party as queens and kings have had to come and stand like a common man in the court, and they couldn't even sit. They had to stand because they are accused, and then have to be called out as by their names, and then they have to present a bail bond. I don't get that impression that they are getting any public benefit from this martyrdom that they are claiming, number one. Number two, this matter of my vendetta or my being used by the BJP, this kind of thing has been stated over and over again throughout, and the Supreme Court, starting with the famous Bhajanlal case, has said, even if you have animosity, if the facts are sound, that's all that matters for court, and they have repeated it many times. And they have said it in the High Court too, and the High Court has rejected it. Now, why is going on recycling in the public domain, I don't understand.
So you don't believe that you're being part of the Bharatiya Janata Party or in a previous avatar part of the Jansangh will in any way suggest that this exercise has got colored, that the course of justice has perhaps got politically colored?
Listen, this is a question of my track record. When I went after Ramakrishna Hegde, he was my party's chief minister in Karnataka and the prime ministerial candidate for the party. And I exposed his land deals, I exposed his telephone tapping, and he lost his job. And that was the end of his career. And the party, in fact, celebrated it, because they said that this is how a democratic party should function. I have not taken any benefits from the government to fight this case. I have not spoken to any minister that please help me in this matter. I have not taken the help of CBI or the enforcement director, anybody. I have done what the Criminal Procedure Code allows any citizen to do. It only happens that I have learnt law. Some of the law I learnt from Mr. Tulsi himself. He is such a brilliant lawyer, in the wrong company, of course. But I have very high regard for him. I learnt law from him. I have learned law from Fali Nariman. I have learned law from my wife. And now I know that as a citizen I can initiate the criminal process, and I'm doing that. I've been doing it irrespective of whether they are members of my party or they are anybody else.
Okay, Dr. Swamy, you've sort of said that by 2016 you'll have the Gandhis in jail, that you will have them convicted for these charges that you brought against them. But we have noticed, and if you really read through the order, that on every particular point the Gandhis have cited a large number of precedents to, at some level or the other, base their arguments upon. Don't these precedents have any value, Dr. Swamy?
But that has been rejected by them. No, they no value. They have no point. The fact of the matter is that even the proceedings of the AJL transferring the shares, that proceedings was based on a lie. First of all, out of 761 admitted shareholders, only 7 turned up. That is the document they themselves presented. Then they told a lie that no member of the board of directors has any interest in this transaction. Motilal Vora is the director in YI, and YI is going to benefit by it. Same thing with Oscar Fernandez, same thing with Suman Dubey, same thing with Sam Pitroda. They are all directors in Young Indian as well as directors in AJL. So they told a lie there. Then they said there will be no change in transfer in ownership of this company. That's also a lie. It has now become a completely owned company of YI.
Well, February 20th will be the day to watch out for. That's when we will get to the meat, really, of the legal arguments. Thank you, Dr. Swamy, for sparing the time. I know you've been busy all day and all of yesterday, of course. Thank you so much for joining us. Lots more coming up in just a few moments. Don't go away.